Welcome to the Marriage Podcast with David and Summer.
We're here to dive into all things marriage, faith, and family. Real talk for real couples.
Thanks for joining us. Let's get into today's episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Marriage Podcast with Dave and Summer. We believe that your marriage can make it and that your marriage has a purpose bigger than what you see, feel, or know. So hope you enjoy this episode today as we answer more questions that we've been asked at recent marriage conferences that we've done. So, babe, what do you think about these questions so far?
There's a lot of sex questions.
I like it.
Which, that just shares with me that people need help in the bedroom.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's kind of sad a little bit too. But anyway, we're here to help.
And God delights in every detail of our life.
That's right.
Which means that this is a detail that he wants to be good.
So this one actually is not a sex question. So how do I get my spouse to really open up to me in conversation about our relationship? I mean, really give me a report card so I can work on things I need to work on, or at least know how he or she feels about anything in our relationship.
Wow.
So that person's probably really shut down.
Yeah.
Maybe. But a report card, you want to, that's, bless your heart. I'm proud of you.
Wow.
You want to be the best spouse that you can be. So, okay, I would say, I'm kind of curious of your spouse's love language, how they handle situations. So my question to you would be, how does your spouse, husband or wife, handle when tough situations go down? Do they shut down? Do they work a lot? Do they go off the handles? Like all those things. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because even though if they're not sharing those things with you, you are at least learning your spouse. I always like to say that I'm the PhD of my husband. And so you need to be the PhD of your spouse. So that's one thought if they're not opening up. Obviously, it sounds like maybe he or she has already shared like, hey, I want to know what I can do better.
I think
Yeah.
part of the answer to that question is, I think we need to make sure that our spouse feels safe
Yeah.
to say what they feel. I think sometimes in marriage, they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe to say what's on their mind. They're afraid of the repercussions, the risk, the marital risk, I guess, so to speak. So we want to make sure that we're having a safe environment, that we both feel safe, meaning that we're, how do I define that? Because some things that we can say could be devastating. And so I think we got to build a bond of trust. Like there's a foundation here that we love each other, we respect each other, and we need to open up. And then if someone has opened up and they were just kind of trounced or belittled or ridiculed, well, then we got to go back and make that right, because why would I do that again if I say something and then you just belittle me, or you put me down, or you judge me, or you get defensive. So I would think, to answer that question, I think we got to make sure it's safe. I think we got to make sure also, have we tried before and it didn't go good? And if that's the case, let's go back to that point, talk about what went wrong, and then maybe rebuild some stuff for the next time to happen.
And I don't know about you, babe, like when you talk to men, but some of the wives I've talked to on this same line of wanting to have a conversation, like their husband will not open up. I remember talking to one lady, and she mentioned that she really doesn't even know about her husband's childhood. Like that's how, hard it is. And so that's where I'm just like, if they don't talk, if they don't open up, then you do your best as far as like in the Lord, reading your Bible, but learning his behaviors and how he functions with certain things. And then, like you said, create that space. Like I think about our children, like we have to create a space for our children to talk. We have one son that really, he does talk, but it's like he has his moments. It's like he's talking and then he's like, I'm not talking. Yeah. But I find that when I'm in the car with him and he's driving, oh, I'm getting all the conversation that I didn't even know that was there. I'm like, oh, but there's that space. It's creating that space to be able to do that.
Yep.
Any other thoughts on that? Or you want to move on?
Yeah, I just think that could take, if someone doesn't know their emotions or doesn't communicate freely, that could be a challenge. If that's the case, try to do your best to not be impatient and try to just continually, like you were saying, get to know them, love them, and build that safe space.
Are sex toys a sin or wrong to use in the bedroom with your spouse? Thank you for this question. You go and answer.
God. What's the stat, babe, that you give the ladies at the conferences we do?
Oh, don't do that. Usually I have it on like a little sticky note, you know.
It's a high percentage, though.
You're talking about not.
Yeah, that do not have orgasm.
Yeah,
high
do not have
percentage of
orgasm,
women do not have orgasm through just intercourse. Correct? Is that how you would say that?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we would say, based on just our experience of talking to couples, hearing different scenarios, understanding the sexual anatomy, and as you share with women, a lot of women do not have orgasm just by having intercourse.
Majority of women compared to men.
Yes. So again, is it between you and your spouse? Do both people feel safe and consent? And does God say no? Again, a lot of this is not mentioned in Scripture. You can't stretch the Scripture to say what you want it to say because it doesn't.
Right.
And again, we go back to the wedding bed or the marriage bed is undefiled. Song of Solomon has some pretty intense stuff there, talking about they talk about each other there. And so if you read that in the sense of a love letter, it's pretty intense. So within those confines, I think they can be used as long as it's not. We can't watch porn together. We can't,
There's no one else in your bedroom besides your spouse. You and your spouse.
If that's the case, that needs to be used to help your spouse have more pleasure, and maybe their body just needs more of help, and that's okay. I don't know how else to say that, but I think.
I think it's as long as you and your spouse have talked about it and you both agree to your point of feeling safe, then that's between you and your spouse.
Right.
And that's all I'm going to say about it. Like, I'm not trying to get in anybody else's bedroom. So,
right.
and say, oh, you can't do that. Oh, yeah, go on.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that's between you
but again,
and your spouse.
That tool that we give, Ultimate Intimacy, you can look
the
that up.
App.
Download the app. They have articles. They have different things you can look up and talk that through, and just read on stuff, and then you and your spouse can talk that through.
Again, it's a Christian couple.
Yep, Christian based.
And the wife had issues of having an orgasm, and so she did use her and her husband used a tool or a toy, whatever you want to call it, to be able to for her to have an orgasm. Okay, so what about this one? You're so silly. Scheduling sex seems so awkward and unnatural. How would you suggest overcoming this barrier? Any tips?
Yeah, I think I would say that
if you're new to it, it's awkward and unnatural.
I would say get over that because because this is not Hollywood. This is not Hollywood.
No, it's not movies.
What we see in the movies is not real. That's not true.
Right. They kissing in the morning and just going on. That ain't real.
No, that's not real.
Breath is stinking.
People have misconceptions of this, and they go into marriage and they're thinking, if we're honest, we're thinking Notebook. We're thinking movies, different movies that we saw, Love and Basketball, whatever it is. Yeah. And we're thinking these things.
Which is sin. That people wasn't even married.
Weren't married. But also, of course, porn is a totally distortion of reality.
Right.
So that the idea of it's always be spontaneous, it's going to be always at a 10 is not true. And so for some couples, scheduling it is necessary for them to stay connected.
So let's talk about scheduling.
So do it.
Let's talk about scheduling, okay? And I guess you could do this of like, okay, at 3:10, we're going to get it on. But I don't think that's, I'm just like, no, it's like, okay, hey, they actually say, because I'm about to mention, hey, like if I say, hey, babe, I'm too tired tonight, whatever, stuff's going on, or we both are tired, then okay, let's be together in the morning. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess,
Yeah.
is that scheduling? Like,
Yeah.
no, I mean, it's not that awkward. And they say that sex is actually better in the morning. So you kind of maybe
Yeah.
want to do that.
But
But you think about dates,
dates, I mean, we have a
you
schedule for
schedule
our dates.
dates.
Yeah, we have
You
a
know what I
schedule.
mean?
And if some of you need to have on your calendar Monday night or Monday morning, like you said, or whatever,
I'm going to be with my man.
then do it.
What's
If
wrong with
If that
that?
helps you stay connected, then why would you care if it's awkward? Yeah, I would just say let
I think
that go.
I think it's awkward when you haven't been married for a while. So maybe these people, I don't know, maybe
I mean,
I could be wrong, but I'm like, come
yeah.
on. And
Let that roll.
unnatural,
It is natural.
no, guys, trust me, it works. It's good.
Sexual healing.
All right. Okay. This is
Let's get it on.
interesting. So
Let's talk about sex.
okay, babe. We already answered this one in the last one. So we were
I
first.
can't think of another song that has sex in it, but Pete. I'll make love to you. Sorry. Let's get back to the topic at hand.
Okay. You sure? You're having fun. I am just trying to move on here.
Let's go.
Okay. We were friends first. We are still best friends. How do we get out of the friend zone? As we have gotten older, friendship has replaced romance.
Well, thank God for friendship,
It's interesting.
because I think friendship is part of the bedrock of a healthy marriage over decades. But I would encourage you, first off, I would encourage all of us to never let romance go. And I don't mean to go back to sex on this, but whether it's dating consistently, having sex consistently, touching, non-sexual touch consistently, talking consistently, all those things. And I know it's busy. I know we're tired. I know we have kids. If we do have kids, work, blah, blah, blah. I want to encourage you. We cannot let that stuff go. We have to stay connected, or we can, over time, it's possible to drift and just to go through the motions. We got schedules. We're keeping our house up. We're congenial. We're good, a good partnership, and people can just drift into just this thing. And that's not what this is meant to be. This is meant to be a living, connected, romantic friendship that is intertwined with spirit, soul, and body. We have to work at it.
So practical things, hold hands.
Right.
Wink at each other, rub his leg or her leg, rub their backs, kiss them on the cheek, actually kiss.
Right.
Even maybe when they're unexpected. Now, sometimes that unexpected kiss, when I'm doing stuff, this dude will just come in.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Stay connected.
so those are some thoughts that you could do. Okay. Ooh. Okay, this is pretty long. Okay, what to do when there's something ongoing that really causes drifting and I've forgiven, but my spouse isn't willing to really work at resolution or healing, etc. And I just feel so broken. Whenever I bring it up, I'm made to feel shame for nitpicking or bringing up things we've dealt with, but it's not healed or resolved, only argued about, and not so well at that.
Pride makes excuses. Humility makes adjustments.
Yeah.
So my encouragement to that is, if that's the case and you're navigating that, when you and I walk with Jesus and we humble ourselves under his hand, we're going to make adjustments for God. We're going to make adjustments for our spouse. And I want to encourage you, none of us should approach our spouse in the context of this question and say, I'm not letting this go, I'm not changing, or I'm going to keep doing this behavior or whatever. I don't care if you like it or not. That's not the right approach as a married couple. I'm not saying that we lose ourselves and that we totally don't have any identity. That's not what I'm saying. But if something annoys you, and it's festering, like an annoyance of something trite. Okay, we all have that. I'm talking about if I'm doing something that is picking out a scab. It's like your wound's not healing. For me to keep doing that to you is sin.
It's
sin.
not a real apology.
That's right. That's sin. If something is annoying you, and if I don't stop, it's going to keep hurting you, I need to stop. And vice versa, because my job is to love you as Christ loves the church, and your job. So that's my response to that.
I'm so sorry that you're,
That
this is hard.
Yeah, I mean, we have to. We're doing this Jesus's way now, and Jesus's way is not our way. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. His ways are higher than our ways, and some of those ways and thoughts are forgiving, serving, humbling ourselves, yielding yielding ourselves to our spouse, and saying, like, you know what, I'm going to stop this because our connection is more important than me doing whatever.
So let's say that the spouse is going to continue to do this. And what should the hurting spouse do? And so my encouragement is one, maybe to get with a counselor. Another one is maybe to get in a small group, just to surround yourself with some godly people who are moving in the same direction. Maybe you find someone who is like a leader, a mentor, someone that you can lean on, that you can vent to about.
Yeah.
And then I definitely would get scriptures for your spouse and for yourself.
Yeah.
Scriptures just to truly hit the target of your heart being healed, and truly hitting the target for your spouse to be healed themselves.
Right.
And so I would really dive into the Lord. I would pray and fast.
That's good, babe.
And really go strong on that. Maybe get some books on that. And if you're a wife, there's a great book called The Praying Wife.
Yeah.
It's a really good one.
That's good.
Okay. The closer you come to Christ, the harder the devil works.
Okay.
How do you cope with this when you are battling sexual sin and striving for Christ-like sexual intimacy with my wife? I can't underestimate the power of the devil and have to be able to conquer Satan. This can only happen by God's grace. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know the context of what they're referencing on
Some sexual
level.
sin,
Yeah,
so it
sexual
has to
sin,
be
so a bondage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether that's pornography.
To me, my thing is all of us, I'm not saying it's all the same, but all of us have a sexual temptation that we deal with. Sorry, we're dealing with a little bit of congestion today, so we're doing our best here as my wife steps to the side and blows her nose. All of us deal with sexual sin, and I go to the verse in Corinthians that Paul said in 1 Corinthians 10, there's a way of escape from every temptation. That's a hopeful thing. Doesn't mean everyone always passes the temptation, but there is a way of escape from it in Jesus. I would say consider this. Consider any open door. So apps on your phone, any wrong conversations, whatever it is, any open doors to sin, shut them. And so get rid of wrong apps, get accountability on your phone and your laptop. Have Covenant Eyes is what we use. It's a great tool that gives a report every week to you and I on how our house is doing with, websites and whatnot. Have an accountability partner that can help you, toe the line. You may have ups and downs, but I believe if you take the necessary steps, you can begin to see victory one step at a time. That bondage will have to break. Of course, this is, maybe sounds really spiritual, pray and fast.
Totally.
There's something about prayer and fasting helps break the bondages in our life.
Yes.
And there's no bondage that Jesus can't break.
Exactly.
So, we're all in this together. Every one of us has to lay something down sexually when we serve Jesus.
Right.
I don't know, it's different for people, whatever, but everyone has to say, okay, I'm laying this down and I'm doing this Jesus's way. For some of us, that's really a battle, maybe more than others. There's no shame in that. It's just the reality. So again, accountability, get rid of stuff on your phone. If Netflix is a problem, if YouTube's a problem, if whatever's a problem, HBO is a problem, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. We're not going to play around. And then get Covenant Eyes on your phone, your laptop, protect yourself, and then just begin to move forward.
And I've heard of people talk about, if it is pornography, for example, I've heard people talk about they used pornography to heal a wound. And so whether that, basically it's like an addiction, right? So any addiction, really you're numbing yourself
Yeah.
for a certain reason. So I guess, the question too that you and your spouse can talk about is what is the core issue? What is really going on? And I love what you said about accountability because you can't do this by yourself. You need, he said wife, so you need strong men around you who are moving in the same direction. And when you do feel that temptation, you can call on them or text on them no matter what time or day it should, it
Love
is. So,
It's good.
okay. During During intense fellowship, I asked my husband to give me a hug and tell me that he loves me. He states that this is an unrealistic request when he is angry with me. Is this an unrealistic request? I love people. If he says that it's unrealistic and he doesn't want to do this when he's angry, then I would say yes. For him, in his perspective, he does not want to hug you in that moment. We've heard, let's see, it was years ago when we did our marriage group. We were leading our marriage group here at the church. And someone said, listen, all you got to do is just undress and fight naked. And everything just, turns out
That's
great.
That's great advice.
And, quite frankly, that is not true, babe.
Great advice.
If we would not, whatever, I don't even think that would really work. If you're
it.
really
Try
upset,
it.
if you're
Next
really
time we
upset,
argue, get naked.
but here's the thing:
See what happens.
when I'm really upset, I don't undress or anything in front of him because I'm that mad. Like I don't want you
But
to
this
even
is a new level.
think.
We're going to new levels.
You know what I'm saying?
We're
Don't
going
even
up.
Think about it.
We're going up to the higher places.
Which he's not. You're not even that guy.
We're going up to the higher places.
Whatever,
try it.
dude.
Let's try it.
Okay.
See what happens.
All right. My husband and I have been married for 5 years. We're both over 60 years old. We have a joint bank account and our own bank accounts. Should we share all our bank accounts?
We're not in this situation.
So in our relationship.
But in our relationship, we share everything
was about to say-
because we're one. There's nothing that I have that does not belong to you. Nothing that you had doesn't belong to me. And we do this together. And again, people can argue back and forth, and I get that. But if we start having money be like your money, my money, that's to me a problem. It's our money, it's our family, it's our marriage, it's our lives, it's our, walk together, so to speak. And we have to be willing to work together on that. And every scenario is different. This is, an interesting scenario.
Yeah.
But I would say, be together and.
So I'm going to
Be a
throw this.
team.
I'm going to throw this out here because it says they're both over 60 years old.
Yeah.
So here's my thing, especially like when it comes to retirement or like,
Right. I was gonna say there may be.
trust funds or, whatever. And if you had something, if you were married before and you had and you have children, adult children before, to me, I'm throwing 2 cents, but to me, I'm thinking if you built something already before this person came along for your children, then that needs to be for your children. And so that's,
Right.
I mean.
And we heard a story of a couple. I know them. He lost his wife after years of a sickness, and then she lost her husband, and they are now married. So the two living, people met and married, and they made a decision that anything acquired financially before they married stays as it is for their kids. So there's no mixing. So whatever he had acquired, whatever she acquired with their first spouse, with their children, or for their children, stays that way. Then moving forward, post-married, a wedding day, then that they share that. So I think it's an interesting idea that I think has wisdom. So if they do investments together, if they do something together moving forward in their lives, then that becomes theirs together while keeping what they have for their kids intact. That's really smart.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to do it.
And, on this too, I guess my question is, do you guys know what is in each other's accounts? Like, have you guys talked about money? Have you guys talked about your budget? Is he good with money? Are you good with money? Is he bad with money?
Yeah.
Does he
Good.
have debt? Like, those are some real, again, you talked about the last podcast, you talked about how sex and money,
Right.
those two, it's very intimate, and
Yes.
it can be very hard. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I would get with a financial advisor if you can. Oh my goodness, I forgot mine. But anyway, I would get with YNAB. If you guys don't do YNAB, it's called You Need a Budget. That's what it stands for.
Why NAB?
So you can do that. Okay.
One more question.
Ooh, really? How can we do that? Okay, let's do this one. Okay, real quick. How do you come back together after the trust has been broken? I think we already kind of answered that, right? Yeah. Okay. It sounds as though we should not have expectations of our spouse or marriage. But what is wrong with being expected to be treated a certain way? If you don't have standards for yourself, won't you accept anything?
I think our standards need to be from the scripture.
We all have expectations.
We all have expectations. There's
That's
nothing
not-
wrong. There's nothing wrong with having expectations, and there's nothing wrong.
Like realistic.
I need to take responsibility and understand that I need to perform as a husband for you. And and the same needs to be for you. Like, I don't understand. Like, there of course there's expectations. We're doing life together.
So I
There's-
think,
But to me, to be treated right, she's
Yeah.
saying, or he or she is saying that they'll be treated any other way. So when we base our relationship on the scripture, my standard, your standard should be, I need David to love me as Christ loves the church. Now, whether that's perfectly done or not, of course not. But that's and so abuse of any kind is never acceptable.
right.
You never accept abuse. Never should tolerate it. But your expectations should be that I treat you like a woman. I treat you like a lady, and I do what's right, and I serve you. My expectations is that you're a faithful wife. You're a trusting wife. You're a safe wife. You're,
Supportive.
Yeah, supportive wife. You're a partner that I can lean on and depend on, because the Bible speaks of, even when, I would say, equal of submit to your husbands and that, but also it speaks of my heart trusts you. So that speaks of dependability, stability in you, strength in you. That's a reasonable expectation. And then around the house, it's okay to expect me to do things around the house. And I expect you to do, I can't do it all. You can't do it all. We do it together. And those are expectations that we have. And I don't know if I want to say I've earned that, but I would say that, or deserve that. I would say it's a part of being married, that we respect each other enough that I'm coming alongside you and I'm going to do my part.
And I would, yeah. And
I
I
guess
would
I don't
just
use the words "I deserve this" or
right. I think it's more so like, I love myself enough to let you know how to love me.
Good. Yep. Love language is a part of that.
Yeah.
Communicating that's a part of that.
Right.
Equation.
I'm not going to be trampled on. I'm not going to be walked on, like that kind of thing. I think that's how I would kind of sum it up.
And the healthier we are as people, the better we're going to serve and love our spouse.
Right.
And so I want to encourage you today. I don't know which question here we've answered. Maybe it connects with you. Maybe it's something you're facing. But no matter what, God can help you. God can lead you to the next place, to the next stop together as a couple.
Yeah.
And God has a great purpose for your marriage. So be encouraged today. In Jesus, the best is yet to come, and you can do this. Please consider to like, subscribe, and share to this podcast. We'd be honored if you did. We can't wait to come back next time with our next episode. God bless you, and have a great day.